This week on Shop Talk, we are going to be discussing the Muse Trumpet and the Bravura Flugelhorn. So I want to start off by discussing the Muse, and today we're going to have a couple different monitors up here so that I can show you some things on the website and some things in our CAD program. We're going to be using Inventor today, and we'll just take a look at what the future holds for Harrelson Trumpets and why we're moving towards modular trumpets. First, I want to look at our website and give you an idea of where to find the newest innovations on Harrelson Trumpets. So we're going to go to this monitor here, and if you end up on the website harrelsontrumpets.com, click through until you get to this page right here, which should be fairly easy. Variable performance. In this section, we have three different kind of questions, or choose your own adventure. You can choose more comfort, less effort, or flexibility and adjustable airflow. So each of these will take you to a different part of the website that helps you improve your playing, either through a mouthpiece or added efficiency or our variable performance system. We're going to discuss those another time. Right now we're going to go up to Instruments, which is right here in the middle, and then we're going to go down to, well, let's just click on Instruments first. We'll do that. So when you're on Instruments, you can come down here and see the different series of instruments. We've got Summit, Limited Editions, Summit Midnight, and then our newest models are down below that. And those include the X Series, HT6, Bravura, and the Piccolo trumpet. So we've got the Flugelhorn and the Piccolo. Today we're going to be talking about the Flugelhorn a little bit, and the Muse Trumpet, which we have one of the braces up here on this screen. So the Muse Trumpet, as you see, is not in this section. If we click on Limited Editions, then, oh, and here you could sign up for our email list. I would highly recommend you sign up for it because we will be sending all the updates, and we have in the past. Plus you get promotions, and you can participate in the Trumpet Challenge. We'll keep you informed on that. So you might want to sign up if you're not on our email list. But if we go down here, there's limited editions, the Summit 1, the Summit Midnight, and the Summit Art. Where we're going with the Summit is more and more towards the Muse, which means more and more modularity. However, the Summit series is going to stay. We are planning on keeping that. So if you want a full horn that's either soldered together or like really permanently put together and not modular, you'll still be able to get those for, you know, the foreseeable future, maybe for as long as I'm alive. But you see that there's no place for the Muse, and that's because we're going to do a special section just for the Muse trumpet as it is developed, and we're almost finished with the majority of the Muse trumpet. So I'm really excited to add this section to the website, and you're going to find it here under Instruments. You'll also find it under the news feed. I'm going to click News, and I will be having posts, like regular posts, in terms of, hey, this is what's happening. But if you want to read the inside details of what's happening on the Muse trumpet, then under Muse, or I'm sorry, under News, you can read about the Muse on my blog. So if you click on Jason's blog, right here is where you're going to find the newest updates on the Muse trumpet. So let's go back to this monitor, and we're going to discuss a little bit about the bracing and the design concept of the Muse trumpets. If you don't know this already, I designed the original Muse trumpet as my first series of instruments back in the early 2000s. And since then we've come a long ways. We've learned a lot of new technologies, worked with a lot of software, done a lot of lab testing, and a lot of real-world testing with thousands of clients from all over the world. And now we're to the point where we can really build almost anything we can imagine, and we're moving into territory of new materials, including different alloys of aluminum, stainless steel, in addition to brass, which we've always offered, and then titanium, Damascus steel, and maybe soon even Timascus, which is titanium Damascus. So that new production and the new materials are going to be introduced in the Muse series first. And I'm going to show you this brace. Let me move it around here a little bit. So here you can see there's a tube that goes through this brace. When we look at it from the top, then Let's zoom in here. So when you look at it from the top, you can see here is where the valve casing would be on one side. So you've got your first, second, and third pistons there. This would be a dovetail slide pinky ring you can move around. And this is a tube for the modular lead pipe. The way the modular lead pipe works is it's machined in 4 separate segments. The first 2 screw together, then they screw into here. The second 2 screw together, and they screw in from here, and the 2 sections in the middle will join, not by a screw, but rather just a tight O-ring fit. So everything screws together from end to end, and I'll move it around here at a different angle. You can see how we have the tubes coming in from either end. This would be threaded, and this end is also threaded. And to reduce some weight, I do have a hole straight through this entire brace. So this gives you an idea of what that Muse brace looks like. The opposite side, where the bell connects, is quite a bit different. And I'll show you that in one of the next videos. But let me grab this brace so you can see it. So once again, here is the Muse brace. And one thing I want to point out is this dovetail slide, which is going to be standard on the Muse series, and it'll be an option on the Summit series. Basically, there's a dovetail right down here, and you can put a pinky ring on there, slide it in wherever you like in any position, and then with a tiny set screw just put it in position. You can do that for the first and the third rings as well. And we may have an option for underneath the thumb or underneath the lead pipe to have a thumb ring that's movable in here. So here is a 3D print of the brace, and in the next few days I will be machining, hopefully, the final version of this. Machining it has been quite a challenge because you have these overhangs, and when you are putting it in the machine as a solid block, it's pretty easy to cut all this stuff out. But when you get to this and to that, and to not have chatter, that's where things become a little bit of an issue. I think I've worked it out now, so we can machine this out of solid brass or stainless steel or aluminum. And we have a few different ways of attaching this to the valve casing. One will be, say, imagine my fingers are the valve casing. One will be just to solder it straight to there. Another way is to actually just use screws and some special epoxy that works with metal so that we can put it together faster and easier, and then we can remove it if we need to. Like I was saying before, there's a hole straight through, so that does lighten it up quite a bit. And it is possible that we can put horns together with full 3D printed parts, because these are very strong parts. But the newest versions of those are going to be in nylon with either fiberglass inside, like chopped fiberglass, or carbon fiber. So we've done quite a bit of experimenting with that as well. So that is what you see in the Muse Trumpet. What you don't see yet are the actual machined braces. The tuning slide will remain the same as on the Summit series. The bell crook is almost identical, but it does screw in. And I'll feature the other side of the horn, so this back side here, in one of the next videos, so you can see the progress and see the bell crook and the bell and how all of that fits onto the horn as well. And then we're growing the library of parts to include a full wall in our showroom. So we'll set up some cameras and do some video shoots there so you can see me interchange the parts and really put different horns together all in the same setup or the same base configuration of the Muse series. So we can interchange lead pipe segments, tuning slides, bell crooks, and bells. In addition to everything on the 5mm modular mouthpiece. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've worked most of my life to get to this point, so I'm very excited to see the results. All right, I'll see you next time.